We bought this crashed BMW thinking that it might be the best way to get my friend Ben his first sports car. But before we can even talk about fixing it, we have one problem. This car doesn't roll.
We need to find out if we can even rebuild this BMW, or if the only part we actually bought was the steering wheel. It would look good on my wall.
So help us out by liking and subscribing. My name is Ethan, this is my friend Ben, and welcome to Car Creations.
Our goal this video is to figure out what we need to do to fix this 435i. First, we need to get the front wheel attached and pointing forward.
Next, we'll have to be able to start it, just long enough to put it into neutral. After that, we can push it into the shop and remove all the damaged parts. This wheel is attached by hopes and dreams. So I think our first step is going to be jacking up in the air, and so at least we can make this car a roller, because right now it's a kind of ugly lawn ornament.
First part of the beamer into the barn.
From the auction photos, it looked like some front left damage, but once we actually get in there and see what's going on, we'll be able to see which parts are actually usable. Every part we pull off are gonna get divided into the good pile or the pile of shame. Over there. Came in the mail.
Very excited that it has this already attached to it, because that means that we don't have to buy it when we install it in the car. Oh. You can see here, they have stripped it out. Problem is, if we just put the a socket wrench on here, it's going to just spin the ball joint. So we're gonna have to hold this up and then cut right here.
So you just kind of like cut through the bolt?
Yep.
Did it.
Coke, please sponsor us.
Ideally, we just replace the current snapped wheel hub with a used one. However, if the suspension arms are bent, it may not be possible.
We have our trusty kneeling boards so that we don't kneel on gravel the entire time.
So what we're gonna have to do first is get this off. So I have a T40, as you can see. And basically, we have to put your back into it, son. Oh, it moved. Nice. We have mainly air tools, which is absolutely fantastic, except for when you have to do stuff outside, because air ain't reaching out here. So we put a wrench onto this, and then we turn the inside. These are very rusted out, I will say. Yay! Whoop, 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 woo!
1 of 3 done.
There's one underneath that we have to get to, and then this one we have to get to from the side. Before we take those off, I'm thinking that maybe we should work on taking this brake apart. And the reason I'm saying that is that this is expensive and we want to save this. Some Torx bolts back here, loosens up the brake caliper, and then this is all that's holding the brake disc on. Take that off. We still have leverage, which is good. All right, look at this pile of junk right there. That's from the previous.
Stop pointing the camera at me. I'm not a pile of junk. Bring.
Nice. See if you can take the caliper off now.
Looking like probably not.
As you can see, there's a pin here and right here. So we have to hammer them from the other side and they'll come out. I went inside the shop and I cut the tip off of a nail. We just go like this. Pops out, and then we should be able to grab these and pull it out. So now we've set, we can pull this right off, and there's our caliper. Brake fluid might leak out, and if that gets onto anything metal, it will corrode like anything. So we already got a little bit. I need to wash that off right away. Unclean.
Ethan's actively corroding. Is that a Coca-Cola can?
A lot of people try taking off their brake disc without a hex tool, which is very important because a lot of people, when they use the Torx bit, you're gonna strip it, and off comes the brake disc. I was kind of thinking about it, and I feel like right now that we're taking this car apart and bringing the parts into the barn one piece at a time. No.
How does it always come off when I'm doing it?
Subtle crash out.
Almost there. This is the last bolt that we're taking off. You get to put the new knuckle on and redo everything that we just did. It's probably, let's not break our mallet. Let's get you a proper hammer. One sec. Try getting the little ones as a joke.
Please sponsor us.
Let's go!
I am the victor!
Old one. New one. Now, I am a little bit worried about putting this on because when you get in an accident, all these little arms under here can bend and you might not notice it because they look fine to me. So technically we should be replacing them all, but we just want this car as a roller for now. So we are going to throw this on, then we can push the car into the shop. See what parts we actually need to buy for this car, which is easier said than done. Let's take off these bolts because this thing's getting in the way. This silly jack has wheels on it, so it's not liking it.
Oh my, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
That could have been bad. Wheel hub is on. So now we have to do the hard work of lining these up. And once we get them all lined up, we can go and tighten them down. Ben was ordering Starbucks or whatever. I didn't need Ben at all. I just wiggled this around a little bit and this one is now in. Then we can put that in right there. Perfect. And then we push it all the way back that way. And this one can go up in there. Now we just tighten them down. Done. We're just gonna put the wheel on so this car can roll. We can get onto the lift.
We got the wheel, boys.
You're carrying that like an F1 tech.
Perfect.
We're just gonna throw the brake disc on too.
Little spider. Hello, little friend.
Ben's actually deathly afraid of spiders.
But therapy costs a lot of money. Hopefully that's high enough.
A Starbucks delivery later, and wheel on.
Mostly.
Mostly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to get this car off the jacks and onto its own wheels, because look, the tire is on.
We still don't know if the shocks or the arms are gonna be able to hold up the weight of the car. If not, the wheel's gonna go underneath the car and basically the whole car is gonna slam into the ground, which would not be ideal.
Tire's facing that way and that one's facing the other direction.
We're gonna twist this and hope nothing goes wrong.
There was some noises. With the wheel on, we have one more issue.
That took so long, by the way.
To put the BMW into neutral, we have to turn it on for a moment. I mean, that's unless we want to jack up the car and mess with the transmission.
Right now, we're gonna pull off the oil cooler, because as you can see in the accident, it got pretty smashed up. And last time we turned it on, all the oil in the car just drained out. This time, we're gonna try and pull the hoses out, and then we're gonna put like a garbage bag on them so that the oil doesn't spray all over us. One little Torx screw up here.
Now you can pull it out. This piece is bent over it, so it might be a little bit hard.
That's fun. It's connected.
There you go.
Perfect. As you can see, there's plenty of oil in the car.
I mean, ideally, we can find some sort of hose that we can just connect from here to here so the oil will still go through and flow through. Because if we just stop it up, then it's gonna start starving itself of oil. I wonder if we have any hoses in this pile of mini parts.
No way.
Radiator hose? I mean, it's for coolant, but it might work for oil for a
It'll
minute.
work.
Every single one of your cars is gonna be like 85% mini parts if we're not careful. So if we heat this up, maybe we can get it over top of this.
We should be able to pull this piece just right off.
And then also, hopefully, while it's warm, we can just push it onto the car.
Beauty.
Quick, run over to the car, see what will fit. Heat it up, and we spread it out. It fits. Welcome back to Redneck Creations, where here we have duct tape in place of a oil cooler. Have a hose that just joins the oil together. That way, we're not gonna lose a bunch of oil as soon as we turn on the car.
With the coolant line attached, our extremely professional plan is to bypass the broken oil cooler and start the car for just long enough to be able to get it in neutral so we can roll it into the garage.
And then turn it off again immediately.
After we rev it a little bit.
No revving.
A little bit of revving.
No revving at all.
Tiny bit of revving.
No revving.
Can we please?
Nope. Our plan is to get it onto the concrete before it turns off and locks up the wheels again. If we can do that, then we can put on the skates and we're golden. This is oil funnel POV. Divot here so we can put the oil cap.
Oh, don't say that.
That's a lot of oil. That's probably about 1 liter. Maybe we should find some more oil to put in here.
Ching! There's actually not very much in here.
We only have to turn it on for a second. Let's see if we have any more 5W30 in the barn. 20W50, nope.
Beautiful.
So now we have 3 quarts in there. Okay, it's in neutral.
Are we hitting? Oh, no. Let's go. Oh my word. Goodness gracious.
She's in the shop, guys.
Please sponsor us.
Ben has lifted up the car, and now we are going to, well, he's working on lifting up the car, and then we just have to push it into the spot on these skates. And you think that a car on skates would make it easy to push, but it's not easy to push. It's easier than if the wheels were on the ground and locked.
I feel like it is easier to push. We pushed that one, just me. I don't even need you guys.
Okay, Ben wants to do it himself.
All right, we just gotta swing the back, right?
Really, I just didn't want to do it myself. We need to push the crash bar.
For real?
Yep.
All right, somebody come help.
It's going downhill now.
I loosened it.
Ben did it all by himself.
That was a lot harder than it should have been. But now it's in the shop, and finally we can see if this was a good auction buy.
That is the most forehead hitting bonnet I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've already clonked my head on this thing once.
Yeah, oh, I've done it too.
Pull off this like rubber seal. It's just 3 little thingies, should come out pretty simple.
Oh, look at that.
This screw is from the oil cooler. These are from the hood.
First step is to get everything wrecked, removed, and after that, we can assess the situation. That's next there.
Yeah.
And for this, it's a little clip in there.
Bang.
There you go. All right, ready? Nice. So we can put this on your bedroom wall.
Before we keep tearing this car apart, let's put something on just to, you know, give us a little encouragement. As we're going through the building process of this car, we're slowly gonna be revealing the muse of it.
The muse.
The muse. I thought of that word. The definition's gonna be on screen right now.
In this video, we are going to add a light bar that Nightlight has sent to us. We are not liable for using it in the wrong areas. This light bar means business. They have not more than just light bars on their website. Is this car going to be a cop car? Maybe. Or is it going to be a tow truck? Maybe. A snowplow? No. Okay. We'll find out.
And we'll try and get this as centered as possible. We're not leaving it on right now because the front of the car is
yes.
not put together yet. This thing looks amazing. Can't wait to see what it looks like turned on.
Oh, that's sick. Look at that one.
That is
Imagine
cool.
that driving up along the track in front of you. Sorry, wait.
What?
What?
I feel like I'm getting pulled over.
Yeah.
30 different options, but they have one where it's just always on.
That'd be perfect for a show car. It's pretty bright. Like, this light is literally blinding me right now. So if you like this, make sure you use the links down below and support our sponsors for the channel. Really appreciate it. I guess we'll get on with the rest of the video.
Now with the future vision of this car taking shape, let's get back to stripping the damage.
What we need to do is take off every part that's broken. So
how do we take the car off? I need to get to the bolt underneath here, but as you can see, it's the crash bar is like bent in and it's actually just bent right over the bolt. So got my handy dandy pair of pliers here. There we go.
I guess that's one way of doing it. Nice.
Popped it right open. Might even have to do a bit more. Hopefully not, because that looks a lot harder to bend.
It's coming off. Nice.
Yeah!
Woo! Intercooler off. It's now time to take the crash bar braces off. We need a jolly big gun for this one. Whew. That's vibrating my arm off. That is honestly insane. You know what? I have an idea. All right, take two. Let's hope we don't break the wrench. Ready? It's crazy what leverage will do. Like, watch. Okay, this is a fresh one that I haven't even tried the Ugga Dug on it. Watch. I bet I can do it with one finger. Leverage is insane. Alrighty. Time to take these out, and this is gonna be hard. Oh, let's go. So this is good, Ben. Not broken. Wait. Stop everything. You need to savor this moment because for the first time in this video, we get to put a part on the good pile.
That's exciting.
This radiator support is all broken.
I've gotten most of the bolts off the quarter panel, but still trying to find the last couple that are holding it on. This is an M4 one. This is not an M4.
So slight refrigerant leak on here from the accident.
That was great, honestly. I'm having a great time.
Bro,
also
just
tastes pretty good.
sucking it out.
Ever had green Gatorade?
Hey, 1 second, let me see something. You are cold. You're all cold to the touch.
So where on earth is this stupid bolt?
Start pulling on it, and where it starts bending is where the bullet.
What in the wrap the fuse in tinfoil and put it back in solution is that?
There we go. Perfect. The good news is, even though this is bad and
Kickflip! Nope. Yeah!
the actual radiator is in fine condition, we're just gonna start working on taking off the rest of the broken pieces. And also we're gonna take off this fender as well because they tried to paint over rust. Fender's almost off.
There she goes.
Very
I did
nice.
that. He did nothing. It was all me. Don't pay attention to this pile of shame. That's killing my wallet.
Panel time. But first, clips.
Ethan is so proud of his clips abilities.
Watch as I like snap them. That would actually be outrageous. Ta-da! So if anyone wants lightly used M4 style side fender with slight rust on the end right there. Check out our eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Dude, that's like $2. You include $2 extra for the bumper. Actually, no, we might need the screws from that. Never mind, you won't get this. We'll be harvesting the screws from that.
With every bracket, every panel, every bolt, and every cooler gets us closer to this car being back on the road and to her former glory.
All right, here we
Ben
go.
thinks this is off.
It's like a,
Oh, it just needs a trim remover tool.
All right,
this goes in the good pile.
good pile.
Front of this car is finally coming apart.
So the parts list is growing larger, but I still don't think that it's as big as we thought it was going to be. Although we do have to figure out what we're gonna do about this bent fender brace right here. That's actually welded to the car and also happens to have the VIN plate on it, complicating the matters. But I really hope we don't have to weld later on. Maybe we can just bend it back because it isn't structural.
Well, that feels good. The car's in the shop and we know pretty much the extent of the damages and what we need to build on.
Before our next episode, I guess I have some BMW parts diagrams to scour through. Buying parts for this car could be really expensive. Do you know that a headlight on eBay costs like 1,500 bucks? So hopefully we can actually afford all these parts just to get this car moving under its own power. Or are we gonna have to send it to the wrecker and Ben's just gonna have a nice steering wheel mounted on his wall? Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe as we really appreciate it. Most of all, we hope you all have an amazing rest of your day and we'll see you in the next one.
Ugh.